Today we're going to talk about the state of the NFT market. I had a planned video for going over the Illuvium ecosystem, but I'm not quite happy with it, and I'm going to reshoot it and get it out here in the near-term future. Now, a lot of things have happened in the last week since I posted a kind of market update video about how I was predicting that this would be the bottom of the market for NFTs. That video has kind of aged well. I mean, the thing is that a lot of these collections are still bleeding out. And we're just kind of slowly going lower. I mean, even the most popular collections of just regular profile picture NFTs are under 4 ETH now. And the entirety of everything that was given to you, if you bought the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, is now worth less than everything given to you if you had bought a CryptoPunk. Meaning that really art is holding up well in the NFT space, but a lot of the kind of hyped up profile picture collections are falling off a cliff. And why I think that matters is that if you have been in the market for one of these things, now is a great time to buy relative to how it has been in the past. Now, could it go lower? Of course. And so you want to be careful and only put in money that you can afford to lose. But if you're going to be buying something like a Bored Ape, 20 ETH is a reasonable price compared to the last couple of years. Now, it could take a long time for it to come back from here, maybe a year plus. And so you have to have a larger time horizon, even if you're thinking about swing trading these things, because there's no hype in the market at all right now. It's just all fear and pain and people saying how Bored Apes are not going to come back and that they're not cool, and people surprised that they aren't at zero. It's really easy to get swept up in that kind of sentiment, and most people are right now. And so if you're in the market for something and you're able to differentiate your emotions between being scared that this asset could go to zero and realizing that there's an opportunity here, then there might be an opportunity for you. As far as the rest of the market goes, crypto is kind of also just going sideways. There's been a whole lot of nothing coming out of the crypto market as far as those relaxed regulations improving prices and starting a bull run. We're seeing a lot of forced selling from people like Binance and things that are affecting the market in a negative way and just causing it to kind of stall. Stocks are doing actually surprisingly well this week. We have Jackson Hole tomorrow, so that could change things depending on what Jerome Powell says. But it seems like earnings are coming in higher than expected. I know Nvidia crushed it yesterday and blew everyone's, even the highest expectations, out of the water. So that's a really big deal for AI. It means that some of this demand might actually be real and not fabricated, and maybe there's a future here. I wouldn't go buying Nvidia at these prices. Their price to earnings ratio is just stupid at this point. But that being said, the fact that they crushed it is a good sign for the AI market. In the Web3 gaming side of things, we've actually had some cool updates this week. So Gala Games just released Champions Arena, which is a new kind of mobile-esque idle RPG type deal. And so think like Idle Heroes, or it's actually really similar to Eternal Paradox, and some of the assets might even be the same as far as like the UI and things like that. So it's a role-playing game where you collect these heroes and go and play them to battle further into the campaign, and you can even battle other players. So it looks mildly interesting. I actually probably won't play it. I just don't think that it has any kind of standout differentiators. It looks very similar to a lot of the other games in this genre. And so to me, there's nothing like Eternal Paradox at least had the season system and a lot of different things coming together to make that game exciting to me. I don't feel the same way about Champions Arena. However, I know that it is a very hyped game and a lot of people are looking forward to it. So now that it's here, the boxes that they sold for rare to legendary champions sold out pretty quick. And so I'm sure that that's a nice feather in Gala's cap, and that's going to be able to keep them operating for a lot longer now that they've generated this hype, launched a new game, and sold a bunch of products for it. So that's good news for the Gala Games ecosystem. We're also seeing Web3 gaming hold up pretty well relative to the rest of the market. Now, a lot of the coins are also kind of trickling out, but NFTs have been relatively stable. And maybe that's just a product of their illiquidity, because there's not a whole lot of people that are really in the market right now for these kind of things, especially since a lot of the games still aren't out yet, or at least not in the state that we had expected them to be. I'm just dollar cost averaging in right now. on some coins, some NFTs, like some various stuff, just to spread the net a little bit, diversify, because this bear market could be a lot longer than any of us anticipate. It could be short though, and so I'm making sure I'm getting some exposure. But I'm really concerned about some of these companies going away and not being able to support the NFTs that they've sold anymore, or create the games that they were promised to create, etc. There's even the thought that, what happens when they create these games and they don't do well? We haven't gotten to that point yet, but it is certainly a possibility. And so the nice thing with bigger publishers like Gala is that you at least have a diversified portfolio of games, so that if one of them doesn't do well, it doesn't sink the whole ship, so to speak. Zynga also announced that they're creating a Web3 title, and that looks pretty exciting. I'm probably actually going to participate in that one. Nitro Nation World Tour came out last week, and that's another NFT product from Mythical, the guys who made Blanco's Block Party and NFL Rivals game, I believe it is. They have a lot of experience with this. Nitro Nation was a game that was really popular on the iPhone before Nitro Nation World Tour came out. I've played Nitro Nation World Tour. It's not super exciting to me. I mean, the mechanics are, you have a gas pedal and you're doing a drag race, and so you have to like swipe correctly to get your tires to heat up, and then you have to press the shifter at the right time. And that's the entire, there's no like steering or anything, or like actually like racing through a track. It's just a flat drag track. So it's a little simplistic. However, it does seem like what they're planning for the ecosystem is really exciting. And so I'm going to keep my eye on it just to see how that develops, because if they set a good precedent here and are able to capitalize on that market, then it could definitely be something worth picking up NFTs for, worth looking at their ecosystem. They actually have their own chain, the Mythical chain, and so I'm not sure if that's something I want to invest in or not, but it's definitely something I'm looking at now, having seen what they're planning for Nitro Nation World Tour. Really, this week has just been a holding week. We haven't seen a whole lot of activity on any side. It's been fairly flat and stagnant across almost all markets. We're still getting news that China may not be doing too well, finance may not be doing too well. There's a lot of things that could definitely cause a further slide. So be careful out there if you're going to be investing now. And we got Burb here. It's looking svelte. If you're uncertain about where the market is going to go in the next year, check out this video on screen now. I break down why I think that this is the bottom for the NFT market and what I'm doing about it. Thanks. I'll catch you in the next one.